You ever just turn on your phone and you see something and your honest reaction is just... Dark Rivy and Light Thetis are coming to the game this Thursday, which means we are getting ever so closer to the eventual War God fit. This is pretty exciting. I can feel the anticipation building up, or that might be something else that's rising in. Either way, we have the new characters coming out along with the new story chapter and some other goodies happening with this, including a brand new Crest Palace, which is really cool. Also, did anybody see the login bonus? I don't know why, but this just looks very sad. I mean, it's 30 crystals in total, but like 5 a day. I don't know, something about this just looks terrible. But we have Dark Rivy and Light Thetis, or their official name, Tenchi Thetis and Abyss Stained Rivy. And if you don't know about these characters, these are going to be the new Magia Drive Unlimited. But thankfully, they kind of learned from their mistakes with Earth Rosetta and made these characters a little bit faster. Because we all know Earth Rosetta asks a lot. Like, in terms of getting her going, it is kind of ridiculous. So let's talk about everybody's favorite girl finally coming back to the game, Rivy. This time around, of course, she is Dark Rivy, or Divvy? Have we ever nicknamed her Divvy? Because wouldn't it be crazy if we started calling these guys Divvy and Lightus? Just some food for thought, you know what I'm saying? Lightus and Divvy. It could work. It could. So Dark Rivy, her entire thing is actually tons of DPS, just like how her old version was, but she does a lot this time around. A lot of her stuff is about reducing the enemy's damage res, reducing enemies' dark resistance, and also giving her allies art gauge and reducing the enemy's magic resist, which is kind of surprising that she's actually an archer this time around. In terms of her passives, she is a little bit okay, I guess. She has increased own damage to demons by 50% during Magia Drive, but if she's in Magia Drive Unlimited, she increases allies' arc gauge by 3 per second. I think that damage buff to demons is kind of on the low side. I wish it was 100% instead, but I mean, what can you do? Also, it would be nice if it was just increased own damage by 100%, you know, or by 50%, instead of exclusively being to demons. I'm pretty sure there's some type of like lore reason why that's the case, but still, you guys get the point. You know what? Why limit her? But like mentioning before, she does have Magia Drive Unlimited. The way how she activates it is really easy. You go into your Magia Drive with your true art, then you activate your art, and that's it. Very fast compared to how you had to do it with Earth Rosetta, right? A few times I've seen people actually use this character on JP has been in mainly sustain comps. I think I have seen a few nukes with her, but it's very finicky. But mainly her entire game plan is art shooting for the team, reducing the enemy's magic res. Very good as well if you actually use her up against the demons so she can do the big damage. I will say though, if you do want to try to nuke with this character, I highly recommend that you do pick up the true weapon, because the true weapon does increase your arc gauge by 100 at the start of the quest, so it makes her a little bit faster. I did say originally that I didn't like her design and I kind of thought that she was a little bit whack, but I would say that she might have a place in the meta somewhere, but I don't really know for sure. Mainly just magic sustain comps, and that's really all I'm seeing at the moment. Maybe some nukes, but you know, I don't know. We'll have to see whenever she comes out. As for the boy Light Thetis though, this man has put down the shield and started throwing hands, literally. His entire kit is actually very simple. He has art gauge up on the skill, which is very low at only 10. His art doesn't do anything if he's not in Magia Drive. If he is in Magia Drive, he will activate Magia Drive Unlimited, or if he's in Magia Drive Unlimited already, he increases everybody's physical damage by 80% with the art, which is pretty good. And then with the true art, he's a slow Saitama, because the first time you use it, you got to enter Magia Drive, then after that, he does 100,000% light damage physical. In terms of the abilities, he's able to increase his own attack and defense by 50%, and during Magia Drive Unlimited, he increases his own crit rate by 150%. Now, that may seem like a weird number, but 150% on crit rate is actually extremely good and somewhat underrated, I feel like. What this allows you to do is that this allows you to crit bosses that have crit resist. So let's say the boss applies a 50% crit resist buff to himself. Well, Thetis will still be able to crit because he only lost 50% of his own crit rate and not all of it. So you see what I mean right there? It kind of allows him to just go crazy on even harder fights. And if you actually do opt in for his true weapon, it will help his own damage out by quite a bit, because it does give him a 70% damage buff for 20 seconds, which is really good. And it also gives him art gauge up and paralysis and freeze resist as well. Yeah, Thetis is very interesting. He really screams like GS's version of Saitama, right? But at the same time, it's like, I feel like you want to use him more so in harder kind of fights and not really nukes. Like if this Thetis didn't have Magia Drive Unlimited and he just had like increased own attack by 50%, under 50% crit rate out the gate, the 100,000% multiplier with the true art, he actually would be a very strong nuker. But the fact that he's not going to be having that instantly puts him in a very weird predicament. You kind of want to do big damage with him, but you may just want to save him for some sustained fights and not really try and nuke with him, because unless you have the new Mizuki, I don't see how you're going to be able to get all that art gauge to get him into Magia Drive and then get him back into his true art. But maybe there is a team out there that I'm not thinking of that can do it. Either way though, this guy's going to be hitting some crazy punches on people. Definitely going to be bonking some bosses with this guy if I pull him. I definitely warmed up to these kits and their design compared to other Magia Drive Unlimited characters like Rosetta. I just feel like that if a character requires so much art gauge, or it's kind of like a nuisance to kind of get into their gameplay, it really hinders it and it makes it like, why do I even want to use this whenever I could just go brain dead and use someone like Mikey, right? But either way though, these two characters are pretty strong. I wouldn't say they're broken by any means, but very solid from both ends. Definitely, I think Rivy though might be the better of the two just because she does offer that art generation as well, apart from just being a damage dealer like Thetis. And that's pretty much it in regards to the units. Their banner, we'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, I would say that I'm somewhat excited for them. I think more so I'm excited to go through chapter 19 and see what, you know, it has to offer and also get all the rewards and all the crystals. But I'm also somewhat excited to attempt this new Crest Palace, which unfortunately, I actually do not know what this Crest Palace is. I have no clue on like what the crest does that drops from it, but I will show you some gameplay of it, and it seems kind of difficult. I do know Duke is apparently the best character to take up against this Crest Palace, which is weird. I can't believe Duke is the character to use in a piece of content. But yeah, it's Shrine of Tribulation. I'm gonna be trying this whenever it drops, and hopefully we get half stamina on Crest Palaces so I can actually farm some crest this week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the entire update. Me myself, I'm pretty excited for this. Like mentioning before, this means that we are actually one maintenance away at this point, ladies and gentlemen, from getting Super Awakenings, because the next maintenance should be Valerie, unless they do something weird and they skip Valerie for whatever reason. They shouldn't, but the next maintenance should be Valerie, and that means the next maintenance after that will be him. So hopefully you all have been prepared. Hopefully you all are ready for the new era of Grand Summoners, because it's literally at our doorstep at this point. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this video, man. Thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy P. If you enjoyed this video, highly recommend check out either one of the videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. Also, tell me down below, what do you guys think about the new Rivy and Light Thetis? You guys like them, you guys don't? Also, let me know too, if you know what this crest does, like the exclusive crest from this Crest Palace, leave it down below in the comment section, because I would love to know. Wait, actually, hold on. We're forgetting a very big point here. I just now thought about it. Ladies and gentlemen, where is Ginzo?